Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to draft the swing dress. I'm going to demonstrate the neckline and the armhole. So pull up the measurements that I gave you and let's go give this a shot. We're going to start with the square rectangle tool. Let's name our pattern piece. This piece is going to be the front piece. Okay, I'm going to draft this on its side, and I'm only going to draft half of it with the intention that it would be cut on the fold, or we could later mirror it. So the high point shoulder is 60 inches. The across chest width is 22. Again, since it's on the fold, I'll do 11 inches. Okay, now we get practice using adding points, moving points, changing points to be curved, changing points to not be curved, and to decide whether they're grading points or not. Right now, this is one of our first projects, so really all you need to be concerned about the grading points is whether or not you can see the measurements in between each point, which is kind of handy right now, I think. Okay, so I want to add a point right here for to be my neck drop, and then a point over here to be my neck width, and then I'll change this point to be curved so that it can come down and curve, and that could be my neck opening. So I suppose I would want my first point to be my neck drop, which happens to be 8 inches below high point shoulder. So I will assume this is my high point shoulder, and I need to add a point right here that's 8 inches away from that little anchor point. So to add points, all I have to do is hit the letter A. Boom, that took me to my add point tool. Easy, letter A, click. Okay, I eyeballed about 8 inches. Apparently I was off. I only got 6.561. Not a problem. Let's change it to 8 inches. Okay. Okay, now for the neck opening, we asked for 10 inches. We are working on the half because we're going to cut this on the fold, so let's do 5 inches. Okay, I eyeballed apparently 3.255. Change it to 5 inches. Okie dokie. Now, I'm going to change the 2 points I made to be grading points. So all I have to do is get my selection tool, which is the white arrow. The keyboard shortcut is the end button. Give it a little double click. I do not want it to be curved, so I'm going to uncheck curve. I'm going to change it to grading. Same thing with the other one I just made. A little double click, no curve, yes grading, okay. This guy, this corner, I do want him to be curved. I don't need him to be graded. Okay. There we go. It's curved. It's just I need this point inside. So I have to move it. Luckily, my move tool is really close to my add tool. Remember, my add tool is just the letter A? Well, right on top of A is Q to move. So that's kind of handy. Hopefully that will help you guys remember where the move tool is because you kind of use them hand in hand, I'd say. Okay. You know, I think it is work to shape the curve. We're not going to worry about that today. You can play around with it a little bit. You can add more points. You can move them around. But this is one of our intro projects, so I'm not going to grade you if your curve isn't perfect this time. All right, next we want our shoulder length to be 2 inches. Right now it's 6 inches. So let's go ahead and add an anchor point. Letter A. Click. Let's make it 2 inches away from the next point. Again, we're working on the clockwise system. And then let's add an arm drop. I did not call out what our arm drop should be, so I'm just going to decide our arm drop is going to be 10 inches from high point shoulder. So I think the easiest way to figure out where to put my anchor point is I want to start using some guidelines. So I'm going to pull out a guide. I'm just going to click and drag right out of the ruler. Okay, so in case you didn't see that, I hovered over the ruler and I clicked and dragged. I'm going to leave this guy here because he's at the high point shoulder. But I want to make another one that is 10 inches below the high point shoulder. So I'm going to offset it. So I'm just going to put in -10 because I want it to go towards the left. And I'll check the create new one because I want to leave my original one there. Great, 10 inches. Now while we're on the subject of guidelines, I think I want to make one for my across chest because I know I'm going to have to put an across chest measurement. In my specs, I didn't tell you where my across chest measurement was. That's no good. Next time you make specs, think about that and do better than me and add where it should be. So since it doesn't say, I'm going to assume it's 1 inch below my armhole drop. But really it should say that to be sure. So I'm just going to double click this because he's my armhole drop. I'm going to say offset it -1 because I want it to go to the left. And go ahead and create new so it'll leave my other one there. Okay, so this is going to be my across chest measurement. Okay, I'm going to add a point. Remember what keyboard shortcut? If you said A, you are correct. Click. I don't want it to be a curve. Yes on grading. Okay, great. I am going to change this one to be graded. So I will hit end. So I'm back with my white arrow and double click it. And I don't want it to be curved, but I do want it to be graded. Okay. Now all I have to do is move this guy. Before I do, I'm going to double click it. And I don't need it to be graded, but I do want it to be curved. Cool. Now I can hit the keyboard shortcut to move it. It's right above the letter A. Q. Click and drag. All right, that concludes this video.